There's another dimension for why I wrote the book. It is also about frustration about politics. Because our politics have become over-personalized. In fact, I dare say the whole transition, if you think about it, South Africa's transition is highly under-theorized and highly over-personalized. So it's either, depending where we are, it's either we're looking at one man to fix the problem, in this case it's Cyril, or one man who caused the problem, in that case JZ, as it were. And I think in the course of that, I think we lose sight of the deeper structural and systemic issues which we need to understand better if we are to fix our current situation. And I mean, if you look at media commentary, I think up to now, and the noise that's out there, it's again drumming this notion. And you dare say that you actually can be pardoned to think that during JZ years, there was no NEC collective, there was no cabinet, he was operating alone because nobody really owns anything that he did. But essentially, I recall very with pain sometimes the time when the whole nation was waiting for the national executive of the ANC to pronounce on whether JZ is going or remaining. And they met for a day or two somewhere in Pretoria and came out saying it's a collective problem. I'm sure if you ask them today, they will say something different. Coming back to the core argument of the book, the essential argument of the book is that the 1994 consensus, the social contract that enabled us to peacefully transition to democracy and which served to push society forward in the first 2 decades, has unraveled. In fact, I think it has fallen apart, as it were. In fact, it has started falling apart with our eyes wide shut over the last 15 years or so, as it were. From 2008, it just kind of become increasingly bad. And we can explain why in that period, because of the global environment, the global economic crisis, as well as our own crisis of continuously falling growth. And if you look at the essence of that arrangement, there is the historical elite, which was incorporated through political management of macro stability and the expropriation risk. And now it has become increasingly frustrated by mixed policy signaling, state inefficiencies and corruption, and growing cost of doing business. They have reduced fixed investment in the economy and have become less tolerant of channeling surpluses towards redistribution. The new black elite has become increasingly frustrated, partly at the limited opportunities for inclusion in a concentrated and stagnant real economy. Further, at the fast closing spaces in the clientele economy, resulting from shrinking fiscal resources, but also generally the increasing pace at which people are looking at improving efficiencies within government. The third major leg of the post-94 settlement, organized labor, it remains fragmented and no longer has the organizational muscle and discipline in the workplace to earn, in the minds of capital, the cost of appeasement. The scene is set for increased elite contestation and social and institutional conflict, spurred by heightened levels of adventurism and populism within our political discourse. South Africa is at a crossroad. Discontinuity of the 1994 bargain is certain. Whether you look at it from whatever end, it is certain that it will discontinue. The question is whether it will be a constructive or a destructive disruption.